Africa Day, May 25, 2023. Greetings to you all van Africa, the peoples of Africa, both in Africa and in the diaspora, on this Africa Day, May 25, 23, when we celebrate 60 years of the formation of the Organization of Africa Unity, now African Union, formed on 23 May 1963 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Africa, by the leaders from all of Africa and leaders from the diaspora. I'm very grateful to Tanyara's initiatives who have provided me with this opportunity to discuss with you and also share some ideas on what the Africa Day should mean to all the peoples of Africa, both in Africa and in the diaspora. From 1963, May 25 has been celebrated as the Africa Unity Day by all the peoples of Africa, following the formation of the OAU, now the AU, and thereafter May 25 was declared the Africa Day to be observed and celebrated by all the peoples of Africa, both in Africa and in the diaspora. They celebrate the formation of the OAU as the birth of an organization formed specifically to champion the cause of the peoples of Africa, both in Africa and in the diaspora. The formation of the OAU was a product of the movement for Pan-Africanism started by the peoples of Africa in the diaspora at the beginning of the 20th century, when they held in 1900 or 1901 the first conference for the movement for Pan-Africanism in Paris, France, organized by luminaries, among them Dr. W.E. Du Bois. The second conference of the movement for Pan-Africanism was held in 1945 in Manchester, UK, when leaders from the diaspora and Africa met to map out the road to freedom for the peoples of Africa, both in Africa and in the diaspora. It has become to be known as the 1945 Manchester Conference for the Movement for Pan-Africanism. Among the leaders who attended the conference from the West Indies and the Americas were Dr. W.E. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, Dr. Henry Sylvester Williams, Cyril R. Lewis James, George Padmore, and many others. And from Africa were the likes of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah from the Gold Coast, now Ghana, Dr. Hastings Banda from the British Protectorate of Nyasaland, now Malawi, Jomo Kenyatta from Kenya, Seretse Khama from the British Protectorate of Bechuanaland, now Botswana, and many others. The third conference for the movement for Pan-Africanism was All the People's Africa People's Conference, held in 1957-1958 in Accra, Gold Coast, now Ghana, when the peoples of Africa from both independent political states and independent territories in Africa attended. At this conference, among the notable leaders were Sékou Touré of Guinea, Modibo Keïta of Mali, Patrice Lumumba from the Belgian Congo, now DRC, Mohamed Bembela from Nigeria, Julius Nyerere from Tanganyika, Oliver Tambo, Robert Sobukwe from South Africa, John Nkomo from Southern Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, among many others, and from the West Indies and the Americas, among them were George Padmore, Malcolm X, among many others. The conference set in motion the protest movements throughout Africa, demanding one man, one vote, as a result of which many colonies got political independence as from 1960 and thereafter. The fourth conference for the movement for Pan-Africanism was in May 1963 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, when on May 23rd they formed the Organization of African Unity, OAU, now African Union, AU, and thereafter declared May 25 as Africa Unity Day or Africa Day. That has been celebrated every year for the past 60 years today by all the peoples of Africa, in Africa and in the diaspora. At that conference, all the leaders of the peoples of Africa from North, East, West, Southern Africa, and from the diaspora were there. From Africa, among them were Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia, who hosted the conference, King Hassan of Morocco, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, Sekou Toure of Guinea, Julius Nyerere of Tanganyika, among many others, and leaders from the diaspora.